Welcome to Pour Over Stories, the podcast where two coffee-loving, faith-filled hosts brew up real conversations about life, faith, and everything in between. We're here to share laughs, life lessons, and a whole lot of coffee as we dive into meaningful discussions on the joys, struggles, and surprises that come with walking through life with the Lord.
Whether you're sipping your morning cup or unwinding at the end of the day, we promise you'll find both humor and inspiration in every episode. So grab your favorite mug, sit back, and join us as we laugh, learn, and grow together. We're excited to share the journey with you. Well, welcome back to Pour Over Stories podcast. We're so excited you're here with us. I'm Lily.
I'm Rochelle.
And today we're going to be talking about decluttering, organizing, and since I just finished moving, I had to do this recently, so we're going to have that. But first I'm going to
First, French press is just
pour overs.
That's pour over.
Pour over.
Pour over stories. This is what inspired the name of our podcast.
Yes, but normally I use something different. But anyways, I need some coffee, so.
So I tried my first pour over today, and apparently I did it wrong.
Yeah.
But it tastes amazing. So today's coffee is brought to you by, this is Bon Jovi? Is that how?
Not Bon Jovi. Not Bon Jovi.
Not to be confused with Bon Jovi. That's something else. But I tried the winter blend, and I just did 3 tablespoons and some creamer. This is 100% pure coffee roasted in the USA, and it's not for individual resale. Make sure it says that before you buy it. Okay, so tell us how to make the perfect pour over.
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, gosh, where to begin? But normally I pour hot water, boiling water, on the filters, and before you add your coffee beans, because you want to get the filters, ready. And then you put the beans, and then you pour slowly your hot water.
Mm-hmm. It has to be wet, dry, not dry.
Yeah.
So this needs to be a little bit wet first,
and then
before you get in the grind.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But you did it too fast, so I told you to do it slowly.
But I did like to see the constant stream of.
Oh yeah, it was true.
Exhilarating.
That's true. Okay, well, while this is brewing, so we're talking about organizing and decluttering and all that good stuff. So you had mentioned last episode or 2 episodes ago about when you got married, you had to pack up your things and move quickly. So yeah, what were some things that you couldn't take with you that you had to leave behind?
Well, the trek from my parents' house to my married house was a long, strenuous 5-minute drive. Gosh, so it was a lot. No, I don't think I actually left behind anything. I was pretty good at keeping things clean and organized and decluttered. So it's not like I had, 27 years worth of stuff, when I left. It was.
Now we know your age. I'm just kidding.
So, because I lived with my parents up until I was 27. And mostly just clothes and everything. So I can't say that when I came into marriage, I had to leave so many things behind. I pretty much brought everything with me. But over the years, realizing what I do need to let go of, which was mostly sentimental clutter, was the hardest thing to let go of. And I'm still, recently, just getting rid of things like yearbooks and photos, and it's, if anyone's seen any, decluttering gurus out there like Marie Kondo, she talks about, does it spark joy? And also I love Dawn from the Minimal Mom. it talks about like what are our things saying to us, and I love that. I never thought about that before, but it's very interesting. Um, and if you check out her videos, I don't remember which video she talked about it, but basically, when you have a ton of stuff, it has a certain level of it requires attention.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yes.
your, you know, china cabinet, it might be telling you dust me. Your coffee maker might say, you know, descale me.
Yeah.
Your whatever may say calibrate me, just different things. Keep me clean. Replace my filter, replace this, change me out. So you have a lot of stuff to manage. And she talks about inventory. And what is it saying to you? Because we are busy people,
Yeah.
and it's a lot to take care of. And just like sentimental stuff,
Yeah.
you could look at it and it maybe meant something to you in the time,
Right.
but now it no longer does, or it
Right.
creates a painful memory.
Right.
And you don't need inanimate objects to cause pain
Yes.
or a trigger or guilt. And so she kind of talks about that. So,
Ooh, I need to check that out.
yeah.
Send that to me.
Yes, and we'll put a link in hers. You're welcome, Dawn, if you're watching this. Um, but I've been being a little more intentional because even if you are a neat and tidy person,
Right.
you have to continually declutter. It's not like a one and done thing, because you're constantly buying stuff. People are giving you stuff, so it's
Oh, yeah.
it's a continual process. Yeah. What about you? What was something you talked about? You moved recently and you you had roommates. You were living for how long? How much stuff did you
Yeah.
like from when you left your
Yeah.
childhood home?
Well, Well, when I moved out here for college in 2012. I was living with my parents at the time, and I definitely couldn't bring everything with me. So I just brought like my basic, needs like clothes, some music stuff, instruments and stuff like that, and, it was just basic stuff, but definitely over the years, you accumulate things or like you said, people give you things, um, and, uh and then like, a couple of years ago, when my parents were moving, they were like, "Hey, do you want your bins from all your high school, stuff from high school, like my Letterman's jacket, my yearbooks, my all those things." So I brought that stuff with me. But recently, so I just moved from a I was living in a four-bedroom house with roommates and now moving into my own place. Um, and I really had to get rid of a lot of things because I was downsizing and I didn't realize how much stuff I had, which I'm not like a hoarder or I'm not yeah, I just yeah, but I did have a lot of things and I'm a fall girl. I love fall decorations. I didn't realize I had 5 bins of fall decorations. So I'm like, "Oh, I need to look through those things." But, yeah, there were a lot of things, and I felt like, honestly, I felt like God was really telling me to let go of a lot of things that I did hold on to, like, "Oh, this person gave me this thing when I turned 30, and it just means a lot to me," or when I see this thing, it reminds me of the good days or the good times when you're young and, when nothing hurts yet. But there were things I'm like, "Why am I gonna pack this? There's no need for it anymore. That was a long time ago. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Let's just get rid of it." And, I had to go through a lot of things of like, yeah, there's no need to bring this with you. Um, and I got rid of a lot of things, thrift stores, gave it away or sold it on OfferUp. And even now as I'm like organizing my new place and unpacking, I'm still like looking through certain things and I'm like, "Oh, I don't really need this. I should get rid of this. Like there's no need for it here." But I really do feel like God was, yeah, showing me things like you're holding on to this thing for no reason. You need to let go of the old and make room for the new, and I don't think that meant for materialistic things. I think it means something more deeper, um, but I don't it wasn't like, "Oh, I'm crying over these things that I'm letting go of." It was more like, "Yeah, it's time. It's time to start fresh, let go of things, and yeah, move on."
Uh-huh. I was just watching a documentary on Netflix, Less is Now
Mm.
is what it's called, by the Minimalists,
You should add that to the
and I'll link to Netflix.com as well. But one of the guys on there was saying when his mother passed away and it was time for him to go through her stuff, clean it up, he found bins and boxes of his school, like, papers and, you know, grades and all that, and he realized that his mom was trying to hold on to him, like, his memory.
Oh, wow.
But he was saying memories aren't inside things, it's inside of us. And I really like that because there can be a lot of guilt and for me, I'm sentimental, so I kinda struggle with getting rid of sentimental things. And it can feel really hard to wanna get rid of something that meant you joy,
Yes.
but it's like in reality, you're like, "Do I use this thing or do I reference it often?" Well, no. But the one time I do every few months or every, once a year when I look through my memories, uh, I, it takes me back. But it's like you can still have that memory, that fond memory inside you and not have to keep, your old artwork project from the 4th grade, or your best friend in high school wrote you a really sweet letter and it made you feel good. Like, I just recently got rid of high school grades
Ooh,
because,
maybe I should bring you over to my place.
oh, that would be a fun episode. Oh, I just got trash every, oh my God. And then you're going to have to start from scratch. But I realized like, oh, I kind of want to keep my high school grades. And then it's like, I'm in my 30s. I'm a mom now.
Yeah.
Who am I going to show? I'm not going to, why would I keep grades? And also, too, part of me, I was kind of like, why do I want to keep these? And I realized looking at my high school grades gave me just a little bit of self worth.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can do this. I'm smart. I look at my grades. And it's like, okay, I'm made in the image of Christ. I don't need grades to define me, to tell me that I'm
Yeah.
smart or
What's the
capable.
identity?
It's not my identity.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm grateful that I did well in high school, but I don't need that. That doesn't do anything for me.
That's so funny because while I was packing, I was looking through some of my high school bins that I have, and I threw away all my report cards and just all my grade. I mean, they were not the best, but
All D.
I do want to. No, okay, it was one. It was math, but it was
Right there with
graduated.
you.
I do have a confession to make that I just something that I threw away recently. So I I was I was in band in middle school and high school, and we had T-shirts made every year with our theme of for marching band. And I had kept all these T-shirts, and I had found a T-shirt from middle school from 8th grade that all my friends signed, and I'm like, "I still have this? Like, who is Nancy? I don't even remember who Nancy is." Like,
Oh, some good ink on there.
I know, but it was all these T-shirts that I had kept that represented things that I did in high school, and I was like, there's no need for me to keep these. Who am I gonna show them to? What's the point? I don't know these people anymore, so I just threw them away. But it felt great. It felt like I don't even miss those shirts right now. I'm not gonna go digging through the poster like, "Oh, those shirts up."
I could really use a tight fitting shirt right now with a bunch
Yeah.
of signatures on it.
Or the name of my high school. And I'm like, why do I even have this? So, but I still wanna look through those bins because the yearbooks, I don't know, it's really hard for me to throw those away.
Really?
Yeah,
Why is that?
because it has a lot of memories. I guess because I did a lot in high school, I was involved a lot.
Popular girl.
No. Oh, no. Oh, and
Sorry, I take that back. You were in band, so you weren't the popular.
no, I did other things too besides the band. I was in theater, I did clubs, I did a lot. But
She was on the cheer squad.
then I would put on my marching uniform and look. I also played football and red swing and
She did it all. I was a small high school.
no, it wasn't. The swim team, no. But yeah, I think it's just a hard thing because I don't know. Like I can look back and see these things. I don't know because I still have my middle school yearbooks too, and my elementary school yearbook too.
Let me be shed some light on why you should get rid of these. No, I'm kidding. But I'm going to share with you why I
Mm.
threw away the yearbook. So, um, in the end, I had to look at like Dawn and from the minimal mom and to see because there wasn't a lot of content out there like about getting rid of sentimental clutter or things like yearbook and stuff like that. So it was I actually got rid of my yearbook a while ago. Um but just other high school memories, like the grades I talked about. But in high school, I went to a pretty big high school and like my graduating class I think was 500 kids. So that's what, like a school of like 1,500 or more? Or yeah, I don't know, around the size. So anyway, I wasn't, a cheerleader. I wasn't, like an ASB. I wasn't in like a bunch of clubs. I did track and field.
Oh,
Um, but other than that, like, you know, so I wasn't featured in the yearbook a lot, except for I think orchestra. I was in orchestra and I think there is track and field. So I think maybe I showed up maybe twice in the yearbook.
oh, okay.
And the yearbook is not just, you know, your grade. It's all 4
Right.
grades. So
Exactly.
there's a lot of content out there. Think about it. If you have a yearbook and there's 1,500 kids in there, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and let's say, because I got it senior year, I didn't get it every year. Did you get your yearbook every year? Okay.
And I had it
All
all 4 years.
gosh. So, and the percentage of people who were your friends or at least in your class that, might have signed it, it's kind of small. And like, imagine 1,500 people being around that. Like, you're not going to know all those people, you know? And so, and also, too, maybe take you back to a time where you wanted to feel accepted or fit in and you try to get different people to sign your yearbook or the cute guy to sign your yearbook and then that felt like a win, and then you have a bunch of people signing your yearbook who didn't really invest in you,
Yeah.
where it's like hags. Does anyone remember that? Have a great summer, or like don't ever change.
Yes.
And it's a but you never talk to me. Like you don't know if I were to change or not. So of course, like your closest friends, they said stuff that meant, or your teachers that said something really kind and it was specific to you.
Right.
That's special.
Right.
But what I did is I took my picture and like the page of my picture and I threw it away because I don't know those people or like I don't think it was in high school, but more so middle school,
Yeah.
where you would have a full page, and I think in high school too, but like a full page where the parent paid for
Oh,
the
yeah.
kid,
Yes.
and it's just like a
Yeah.
huge blurb about
Yeah.
them and all these pictures. And it's like, I don't know who this person is. Why do I need to have a full
Yeah.
page of all these people? And that kind of puts it into perspective because I think the older you get, your circle naturally shrinks. And that's not a bad thing. I think circles kind of start out large because, like in middle school, you're with these kids.
Right.
Like my school was K through 8.
Wow.
So you're with those kids pretty much for like,
Wow.
how long is K through 8? Kindergarten, first,
A long time.
kindergarten, and then first, right?
Yeah.
So what? That's 9 years,
Yeah.
almost a decade with people.
Wow.
Like, how many things can you think of in life now that you're with the same people for a decade? People move, people come, go, that sort of
Yeah.
thing. So it- it's it's okay to have, like, a smaller circle and those, like, intentional people where you don't need all everyone, he knows applause and stuff, and I guess that's where you could tie into social media, but that's for another day.
Another episode.
Another episode.
Yeah.
So that felt freeing because I was like, "Oh, no, my yearbook," but in reality, if you do go back to look at your yearbook, you're not gonna go look up, "I wonder what that girl in my math class, wasn't she in a club?" You're gonna look at your picture, you know? So, just kinda taking that off, and if I really wanted to see someone's high school picture, I'm sure it's on the internet, but so you should really get rid of all your yearbooks.
Oh, man. Let me think about that.
Just cut out your pictures.
Every page? No.
This popular.
Oh, yeah, that's probably gonna be a hard one.
You
And I
friends with the yearbook scene, weren't you? It's all a popularity game. It's
I
rigged.
don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Because when I was moving, I was like, "What about my Letterman's jacket?" I still have that too.
Oh, no.
I'm like, "Doctor, keep it?"
So if you want decluttering advice, um, we'll try to send you some helpful resources.
Oh, yeah. You just give him your number.
Yes. I'll put it in the description below.
"Hey, what do you think about" yeah, just message us and say, "Should I throw this away?" And then you can just tell them yes or
Yes.
just do it.
Like, but Lily may want it, so hold on to it. Okay, 5 things. If you can let anyone know what are 5 things that you should get rid of now, what are they? Go.
5 things to get rid of? Um, I'm gonna start with clothes and shoes,
Mhm.
okay? Because I feel like I've been getting better at that, of looking through my closet, through clothes, shoes, and I'm like, "When was the last time I wore this?" And in the begin or before, I would say, "Oh, eventually I'll wear this," but now I'm like, "I haven't worn this in years," or yeah, I haven't lost 10 pounds yet, so I'm never gonna fit in those jeans again. So, I'm for never. So I've been better at that, getting rid of clothes and shoes that I'm just never gonna use, that I'm not using right now. So I only wanna keep what I'm using for work and, you know, um, regular clothes. Another thing to get rid of, gosh, you put me on the spot.
Well, the 4 other things you can get rid
Never
of
mind.
those freshman, sophomore, junior, senior yearbooks.
Oh, no, not yet. Um, but I have started going through those bins because I think I have like
Okay.
2 bins right now that I
You're
need
from how many bins?
3.
Okay.
And just looking through those things because I did find a lot of like I found my CD player. I still have my CDs.
I think I'm asking the wrong person.
Listen, okay, and I do have some cassette tapes that I used to uh what's it called? Can't even think right now. You put me on the spot. Um, yeah, and just old things that were sentimental to me growing up. Um, but I am starting to look through those things because I did keep a lot of newspaper articles or magazines that I enjoyed back in the day. There's not a lot.
Before Pinterest,
Yeah,
literally pinning it to your board.
literally. But yeah, so I'm looking through that stuff. Right now I'm organizing like my bathroom stuff. So I am looking through those things like when am I ever going to use this thing or
Is it expired?
yes. Oh, yes. I looked through like my medicine cabinet stuff and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this expired in 2022." Like, I'm going to throw away this Benadryl. It wasn't mine, okay?
Oh, okay. Whoa, did it triple? We we are doing really raw today, and so we weren't expecting.
That's children's Benadryl for my dog.
Ah,
I mean, I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna toss that." Um, but
So clothes.
Clothes.
Clothes and shoes. We'll close them together. There's, um, bathroom toiletries, nails and cabinets, stuff
Yes.
expired, you're not
Yeah.
gonna use.
And then kitchen stuff too that I look through and I'm like, I'm never gonna use this. Why do I need 8 cups? I just need a couple. Or what? Okay, another thing that's hard for me to get rid of are mugs.
Me too.
Oh, I have a lot of mugs. I collect mugs. Yeah, whenever I travel, I buy a mug.
And that's my guilty pleasure.
I have a lot of mugs.
I really can't get rid of.
No, I think that's just something.
Yeah, that's okay.
But I did get rid of some. So, but I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
I love my mugs.
yeah,
And they're cute. They're just,
yeah. There's
they're me.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Okay, what about you? I don't know if that's fine, but you know, it's
Okay, so those were really good. I love I would second that. Again, the sentimental clutter. What can you consolidate? What can you make? Think about what can you make room in your future for. So, for example, I had um, all my childhood drawings that were in a scrapbook that I had made for my mom because she wanted something herself. And I thought about it. I'm like, when am I really going to reference this again? I mean, I'm keeping it for now, to be honest. But just that thought of like, am I making room for the future? Because what am I going to have like my kids' stuff and my stuff when I'm the kids? Like maybe one or two things.
yeah.
So I might get to it to where I can consolidate, like maybe my favorite, excuse me, my favorite drawing or something. Um, but like cards, if you get a greeting card and it just says, a happy birthday message from Hallmark and signed from the person who gave it to you, that is not worth keeping.
Yeah.
But if it's a card and it has a very special message, keep that.
I totally agree
Yeah.
with that.
So just kind of being careful about that sentimental clutter that you're not getting too attached
Yeah.
to that. Um, and then what else? Um, duplicates. I struggle with duplicates sometimes because it's like, well, if I buy one, I want to have a backup. And it's like, no, you don't really need that. Like, you don't need like a bunch of pens and a bunch of highlighters,
Yes.
bunch of markers and stuff. So if you have duplicates of, what can you decrease on that?
That's good.
Um, and then like little junky stuff that's, you go to a conference and you get like a keychain or you get a little
Tote bag.
a tote bag or you win like a little plushie, just things that don't really have value, that you don't really have a home for, that they don't really serve a purpose. They're just sitting there. Just get rid of like unnecessary clutter. Like try to have most things in your home have a purpose.
Right.
That it's utilitarian. And of course, it's like you don't have to have like a Apple store of a home. You can have stuff like pictures and books, but just have most things have a purpose for you.
That's good. Wow. I feel like we can continue talking about this.
Yeah, we should after we kind of get decluttered ourselves. Tony, I can talk about it.
Part 2.
Part two.
That's gonna be a part.
In.
Yeah, there you go.
Part one,
Okay,
first two.
maybe part 1. Maybe next time I'll let you know if I got rid of my yearbooks or not. Um, but yeah, this was fun just to talk more about.
Get you thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Get to know us a little bit better.
Yeah, and in the comments below, tell us if you agree that our mug obsession is okay. We need validation on this.
Oh,
And something that you're struggling with getting rid of, or something that you need to get rid of and you just haven't done it yet. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
please do.
I don't know why I did a left-handed check mark, but if that is any reminder to like and subscribe. And then in a quick closing, how about I close this all out in prayer?
Let's do it.
All right. Dear Heavenly Father, we love you. We praise you. We thank you for friendship. We thank you for coffee, just some great things in life. Help us in our journey as we declutter and that we don't hold so tightly onto earthly possessions, but we have our true treasures stored up in heaven. and we don't lose sight of that. Help us as we go on throughout our days. And thank you for our viewers. Bless them in Jesus' name. Amen.
Cool. Man, this coffee's good. All right. Oh, go ahead. You're not paying attention. Just kidding.